Hello, good evening, everybody. So nice to see you on 21 Next. We are streaming live right now. If you're watching this back later, hello to you. My name is Joel D, and the place to be. And we are checking out a number of stories to give you a feel for this. We're going to talk about a hog. We're talking about kisses. We're talking about gyros. And we're starting with the weather. For that, we're going to bring in Ed Russo, who is keeping an eye on our weather, but more importantly, some flooding elsewhere in Pennsylvania. What are you keeping an eye on, Ed?
Yeah, so pretty big flooding scenario unfolding out towards Somerset County, also Cumberland County, Maryland. That's Somerset, and the flooding there. Look at all of those cars that are stranded. This is how fast floodwaters can come up. The vehicles get stranded because they're stuck in 6 inches of water, and while they're stuck, the water just continues to rise rapidly, and that's exactly what we saw in communities like Myersdale today, where people were just, caught off guard. These things happen so fast. It's very hilly there. So all the water just drains into the creek beds and you can just get a really rapid rise in water. I mean, look at that. People are using boats on where there's, our streets. You can see the water levels almost to the top of the stop sign in some locations. So just a wild weather event unfolding.
All right. I got a couple questions.
Sure, go ahead.
How fast did this happen, or how fast can it happen? We're talking like minutes?
Yeah, I mean, once you get, 2 to 3 inches of rain within an hour or two, actually out here, they got 3 to 5 inches of rain within a couple hour time span.
Okay.
And all that water just funnels right into these smaller creeks and streams. And it can happen fast. I mean, you can go from relatively, you could be in a safe area that's dry. Well, the ground's wet because it's raining, but you're basically not under any water yet. And 30 minutes later, it's up to your waist. So That's how fast the water can come up. It really all depends on the size of the creek and the stream and how exactly it funnels in. But This happened super fast, and obviously many people getting themselves into quite a predicament.
Can it also recede fast?
Yes. Yeah, typically. So this was a flash flooding that was occurring out there today. And, it's flash because in a flash, you just see this huge area of water that wasn't there before. And not only is it rising rapidly, but it's also moving with great force. So that's how it can push, larger vehicles downstream. But yeah, it happened very quickly, and as fast as they rise, the river levels or the stream levels can fall.
Okay. All right. Any more chances of this week?
Yeah, so actually, I mean, they're going to get another wave of heavy rain. They're currently seeing one right now in the same general vicinity. This is really the day where we're looking at an elevated threat area wide of flooding. So everywhere in yellow is where we have that elevated threat. It's less of a concern in green. It's still a concern, but it's not as pronounced. But in the coming days, especially, Friday, for instance, we're looking at the potential for some thunderstorms that could drop quite a bit of water. So as this threat eases overnight into tomorrow morning, we're going to have more shower chances. And I really think the storms on Friday are probably my biggest concern in terms of producing very heavy rainfall. And even with the mostly dry day that we're expecting on Thursday, we're still looking at swollen streams and creeks, and even the main stem of the Susquehanna is flowing fast. It's not at flood stage, but it's still moving a lot of water because of recent rain.
You're a foodie, right?
I am a foodie. Yes, I love to cook.
All right. How about gyros? Gyros. We call them gyros or gyros? What do you call them?
Gyros.
Oh, I'm just gonna go the opposite way. Well, the name of the place
in Chicago, that's how they call them euros out in Chicago. I used to.
The name of the place is Yanni's Gyros or Gyros. Like, you can't say, "Hey, let's go to Yanni's Euros." Like, that's not the name of the place.
Well, people in Chicago, if they came here to visit Yanni's, they'd say, "Let's go to Yanni's Euros."
No, they wouldn't. Although it sounds nice, Yanni's Euros actually is very
alliteration. Yeah, no, they seriously call them. That's what they call them in the Midwest.
All right, well, stay with me on this then.
Yeah,
it's in York County, and they've been doing a pretty good job. John Yanni Palitsopolis, or Palitsopolis, probably that one, Palitsopolis, is the owner of the place. So he gets this nomination to be on America's Best Restaurants. You see them eating here, be like, oh, that's pretty good. Look at that face. Oh, that's good. good.
Yeah.
You can always tell when someone's faking or not. When I used to do a lot of cooking on the morning show I used to be on, different place, people would say, do you really like the food? And I'd say, here's my trick. First bite's for TV. If I go back for a second bite's for me. So first bite for TV, second bite's for me. You can always tell if I really like the food or not. Because the first bite, you have to like be nice to the guests, whatever. At first, it's clapping. That's when you know it's good.
It is
food, yeah.
It is hard to fake. And remember, body language is 95%. That's why you can see people lying through their teeth.
Ooh,
when they say something's good and it's really not to them.
That's
but then, what I'm seeing in the video here looks delicious.
It looks delicious. All right. So the show, they sample these dishes. They have a good time. So apparently Politsapoulos is the first generation Greek American. His family moved to Pennsylvania in the 1980s. I'm sure this is from the old country. They're bringing all this together, this awesome Greek stuff. And now going to be highlighted on this show, America's Best Restaurants. We think it's going to air maybe in August. But today was cool for them to get attention like this.
It looks really good. And it's exciting. I love Euros.
Okay, good. All right, well, I'm glad I kept you on for this story. I'm going to let you go now because we're talking politics and you don't want any part of this one. This one is deep, but I'm going to get into it. Thanks. See you, Ed.
All right, see ya.
All right, folks. Let's step back for a second. The Democrats lost the big election, 2024. They lost some other things as well, right? So they don't have the House, they don't have the Senate, they don't have the presidency. But they do have hope, and they wanted some change as well, hope and change. And so they decided to have a vote for their leadership, the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. And they elected 100 days ago 2 new leaders, 2 new vice chairs. They have other leaders as well, obviously, that you know. But the vice chairs, one of them, Malcolm Kenyatta, representative from Pennsylvania, from Philly area. He's run for various things. So good position for him. And David Hogg. He was one of those survivors from the Parkland shooting in Florida many years ago, and he's become a politician since, very young. And so they wanted to bring in some youth and some young infusion of excitement into the Democratic Party. But Hogg also has some different ideas. He would like a younger Democratic Party, maybe more like him, that have some different ideas. And so he was suggesting that even in primaries, remember, all Democrats against all Democrats, maybe we should support, as the Democratic National Committee, the head of the committee, maybe we should support more younger Democrats going against older incumbent Democrats. So that blue on blue crime, so to speak, Democrats versus Democrats, is not something the old guard liked. The old guard, the ones being challenged by this. So they said, we don't know about this. So what they did was they have decided to put forth a plan. First, they tried to put a new bylaw in that you couldn't challenge incumbents with DNC money. Think about that. Everyone contributes money to this big pot, and then they're using it to go against maybe even you who helped raise this money. Doesn't sound fair. So instead, what they're doing now is they're going to have a new election. They have basically canceled the old election and its results, including Mr. Kenyatta, who you see right here, as the winners for the vice chairs. They're going to hold new elections, it seems. As you see there, he was pointing out that he had 298 votes. Hogg only had 214, something like that. I think the number should be 204 and a half. Anyway, 214 and a half. There you go. So his point was, I shouldn't be in this mess. You folks wanted to change with David Hogg. Okay. But now instead, you're basically throwing out everything and starting over again. When I've done good work here, I haven't been a problem. I should be able to keep going. And these are tough elections. They're tough on me, my family, the drama. I don't need this. I've been doing good work. Come on. And he even went into some profanity. You can tell how upset he is by all of this. So it looks like we are going to get a new vote. Now, it's not official yet, but David Hogg went on national media today. You see Mr. Kenyatta going on social media. That thing has got a lot of views. Scroll down a little bit. Let me see how many views this thing has, if we can see. 113,000, but that's that part of it. Yeah, I guess if we went up, we'd see the other piece of it. But anyway, the point is, it's getting a lot of attention, and he is very upset about this. But he said, this is the game the way it's played. I'm going to continue. I'm going to do this. But I've interviewed Malcolm Kenyatta many times. He's a very cool customer. He says the right things. He is polished. I haven't seen him like this before. So if you want to check that out, I reposted it, made some comments on it. We had it on the newscast. He definitely was upset by this. And he's really upset because he's saying all of us Democrats have enough to talk about with Republicans and things we don't like about what they're doing. So why are we wasting time on each other? But that's where they are right now. And the Democrats are really in a weird spot where they have to figure out what is their direction. And part of that is weeding out some people, elevating others. And Malcolm Kenyatta thinks that he's been kind of thrown into the mix here unfairly. So we'll see where that goes. On a much lighter note, we will calm down and we will say this. What should be the official candy of Pennsylvania? Many people will say Hershey's. That's okay. If you're from the Bethlehem area, maybe you're thinking, Just Born, those Peeps, that's Pennsylvania as well. You got Mars, you got all kinds of good stuff. Wilbur chocolates. Well, there is a bill that's made some progress, got through the House today, one of the committees there, saying that it should be the Hershey Kiss. Now, you may think, and I even talked to Tom Mahaffey, who's the Republican behind this. The criticism is, don't you have better things to worry about? Don't you have other things to vote on? He says, well, hold on. This is symbolic. Symbolic things matter. And it wasn't his idea to begin with. He was teaching a class, I think, or at least like entertaining some students in Harrisburg and encouraged them to create a bill to see how the process works. So they created this bill to make the Hershey Kiss the official state candy of Pennsylvania. Of course, Milton Hershey has a great story, all that good stuff. So why not? So they have thought about this in the past. He says that those kids are now in college, I believe. So they've seen that it does take some time. You tweak it, you change the bill a little bit. It is making its way through again. The Senate hasn't seen it yet. So we'll see if it becomes that way. Obviously, there's some pushback from the Bethlehem area and Lehigh Valley thinking like, we have a good candy too. So we'll see what happens with it. But the Hershey Kiss on its way to becoming the official state candy. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. But it is symbolic and it's kind of cool and it gets a little more attention. And so there you go. And then the kids got to see how the process works, and it does take some time. So today, making some progress. Tom Mahaffey, the Republican behind that bill. Folks, we got to everything. I told you I'd have a hog, David Hogg. Told you I'd have kisses, Hershey Kisses, gyros, gyros, euros, all the same food, no matter how you taste it, and our weather report. That is a full version of 21 Next if I've ever seen it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Share it with your friends. Tell them what's going on when it comes to this kind of a newscast. And tell us what you like, because we are all ears. I'm Joel Dean, the place to be, signing off. We'll see you on the news. See ya.